Welcome everyone to this Thursday's Intuit Profile webinar. It's on the T2 corporate linking. So I will get started in a moment. I'm just going to let some people a bit of time to log in into the webinar, and I'll talk through a few things before we get started. A couple things I want to talk about is first, that today's webinar is going to be on T2 corporate linking, of course. And in case you don't know what corporate linking is, I will explain what that is. A little bit about myself. My name is Jeffrey Kosin. I've been with the company since 2013. I've started out as one of the care agents, and I moved into the customer education aspect of the business unit. So I really enjoy what I do, and you know, it's one of my passions to teach, so I've moved into doing these webinars and really enjoy doing them. And some of the feedback that I've been getting from clients, I really appreciate that. It makes me feel good about what I do and the direction that we're taking with these webinars. When you get started, of course, when you log in, you'll get these windows. So if you're actually logged in, you probably went through these windows. You have to run the program, and then from there you'll have to test your sound. This is one thing that I would definitely tell you what to do when you get started, is check to see if your speakers are working, making sure that everything is not muted, and yet you can hear sounds when the webinar starts. So in case you do bump into you know, not hearing me and I start talking, just let me know. You can put it in the question section, which I'll show you in the next slide. And this is here. Oops, went too far. So this, you'll get this window when you first start. This is the control panel, the GoToWebinar control panel. You can mute yourself. Actually, by default, your microphone will be muted. That is just a default setting that we've set for this webinar. If you want to ask a question, there's a couple of ways. Preferably, just type in your answer or your question in here, enter a question for the staff, and then press send. If you can, please save your questions towards the end. And if there's something that you really need to know right away, I will look at the question itself and then see if I can answer that question right away, or if it can wait till the end. All right. From there, you have the raise your hand. Some clients just use the enter your question here, and then you have your other settings within GoToWebinar. Okay, so it looks like a couple minutes after 2:30. Let me get started with the webinar. Again, like I mentioned earlier, today we're talking about the T2 corporate linking. So we're going to be talking about a new feature within Profile. If you haven't seen it already or used it already within the software, it's a new feature that we've incorporated into the software. A lot of high demand for this feature. It saves a lot of time from inputting everything manually, and if you have the associate corporation, all you have to do is just a few clicks and you can associate that corporation. Let me give you a brief description of what Profile corporate linking is. It enables the T2 filer to link the data from a related or associated corporation through the RAC Details Form or another corporation using Profile's corporate linking feature. Any changes to the data or related associate corporation found within that RAC Details will be highlighted, and you can synchronize those changes into the RAC Details. Who can use the feature? Well, any customer that has a T2, that's purchased the T2 module, is eligible for corporate linking. Just remember that you need to be on a current version, 2016.5.0, And I'll also talk about the next question, which is, for which tax year is corporate linking applicable? It's actually applicable for the T2 2017 only, and I'll explain that further. Additionally, users can link to 2016 files, but not from a 2016 file. So what I would suggest is, if you have a file, I'm just going to bring up profile here, and if you notice that on the information page, this says 2014 to 2016, for example. Just make sure that you update or open this file in the next module, which usually when you reopen a file, when you're up to date, the software will ask you, do you want to open this return in a 2015 or a more current module? If you say yes, then it will open up in the current module, which is 2015 to 2017. And with this module, you'll be able to link the files. So just remember to update your software, of course, first. Online, check for updates. Once you do that, when you open up a return that falls within 2015 to 2017, Profile will ask you, would you like to open up in a current module, which is a 2015-2017. Just say yes, and you'll have the option to associate corporations. Okay. So that's what this means for the second question. All right, so let's get started with this. Of course, I mentioned 2016.5.0. First step you need to take is you need to have a T2 return open. And with that return open, you'll notice a plus sign icon on the top. Let me just bring up profile. And I'm up to date, so how do I know if I'm up to date? Just go under the help menu and then scroll down until you see about, and click on about, and that should give you your profile version. So I have a 2016.5.0 profile version. I can press OK to close that window, and now I can go to the RAC details. In case you don't have the RAC details, you can use this search field here and type in RAC. That's the short acronyms for associate corporations, related and associate corporations, and I can go now to the RAC Details Form, which is this one here. Okay. Originally, I had started out with a corporation that I manually inputted information. So, for example, if I just put in info here, $8,000, and so on, this would actually come up as a, oops, okay, let's see here. Please enter a valid number less than or equal to 100,000. Oops. There we go. All right. So from there, let me just clear that out. From there, you could fill in this related corporation as a manual. That is in the past. Now you can, if you have an associate corporation to this parent corporation, and you want to add a related corporation, then now you can link that corporation if you have the return. How do you do that? Well, just click on the plus icon up above. You will highlight it as link a corporation. I click onto that, and this window will show. You'll have two choices. You'll have link new or review. Link new is what we want to do because we want to link a new corporation to this parent corporation. So I'm going to go ahead and click onto that. I'll talk about review once we go through the link steps. So I'm going to press link new, and now I can navigate to the corporation that I want to associate to the parent corporation. I'm going to choose corporation 1, and then I'm going to click on to open, And now it's going to open up this window, and all I have to do is just confirm what information would I like to show or link to the parent corporation. So I can scroll down and look at all the forms, and from there, once I've confirmed that, yeah, I'd like all this information to be synced in, then I can press confirm at the bottom. Okay, and then it'll give you a confirmation window. You've successfully linked this file to this return. If you want to link another, you can press link another. It will just basically bring another window, so link new, and then I can grab another corporation to link. Okay, I'm just going to go back to this page here, and now you notice that I have another corporation, corporation 3, which is now it has the status of being linked. So I had my manual, which I manually inputted information. And if I use the link option in profile, the status will come up as linked. Okay. And now I have the information that I had in that return, and it fills in all the information here into the RAC details for this associate corporation. Okay. This will also give you where the linked file is. The reason why I talk about this is in case you move a file, for example, you're in the folder itself and you move the file. So I'm going to go into my profile data under the T2 returns, and say, for example, I move this corporation 1 to this folder here. So move corporation file folder. So I move the corporation 1 to this folder here. What that does is it creates a broken link. So profile doesn't know now where that associate corporation file is because you've moved it. Okay. So if I go now into review, it will show up as a broken link. I can access review two ways. One, through the plus sign and through review, or I can use this triangle, review link corporations, and it will show you that there's a broken link. All you have to do is just re-establish the link. So you have to tell profile where the file is. So let me show you that. Okay, and now that it looks like I've relinked, sorry, I just got to relink that. So now I've unlinked it, and now it becomes a manual data, and I can clear that out. If I want to delete it, then I can remove it, and I can use that option again to link new. Look for the corporation, which is here. Sorry, I went too quickly. So I went back to use the plus sign. I clicked on link new, and then I navigated to where I moved the file, and here it is. I can press open, and now it will relink the file after I confirm, yes, I'd like all this information to be linked and synced, and I press confirm, and there it is. Okay, I re-added it in, telling profile where I've moved it to. Okay, a couple questions here. Ahmad says, which bottom button we press on the top? So it's either these two buttons here. You can use the plus sign, which will give you two options. It will give you the option to link new. So you want to link a associate corporation, or if you already have associate corporation and you want to review that, then you can use this review option. Okay. Second question was from Leslie. We have the most up-to-date profile. We don't have the corporate linking option. We don't have the plus sign on the toolbar. Please advise. Couple things you need to look out for is make sure that you're up to date. So go under Help, About. Another one is just double check if your license is actually activated. That could be another reason. If you don't see it, Leslie, please give us a call at support, and we'll definitely be happy to troubleshoot that for you. Okay, but if you are up to date, okay, and you have a T2 return open, you should be able to have these two options available to you. Okay. All right. Good. Let's move on. And so these are the steps here. Again, you open the T2 return, you select the plus icon, and from there you navigate to where the file is, and it will open up this window for you to confirm what information you'd like to associate into the RAC details. And once you press confirm, you'll get this window that you've successfully linked the file to the parent corporation. Okay. As I spoke about the statuses, you may get a linked or a manual. Manual is if you manually inputted it in, and if you link the file using that option that we just spoke about, it will come up as a linked. If you ever come across, say for example, this Germany corporation comes up as manual and linked, there's a possibility that you may have created it manually and then you use the link option. It's not going to override the manual RAC details that you created. What you need to do is, if you're going to do the link, then go ahead with the link, and you can just simply delete or remove the manual. Okay? If you're not sure on how to do that, let me show you again under Review, so you can access it through the plus sign or the triangle, and you can go to the actual corporation. Oh, sorry. Let me just go here. So the manual, okay, if I want to delete this manual, I can go under the Review, and then I look for that manual data, corporation 2, and I can use this garbage can or the trash sign. Okay, and then that clears out the manual, and if I've associated the corporation 2 already via a link, then I can keep that and just delete the manual. Okay. So the following designations you may come across. So as I spoke about the link in the manual, and I also mentioned the broken. Broken, as a recap, may be when you move a file to another location, another folder. Sometimes you migrate your information. It may break the link to that associated corporation. All you have to do is just go through the steps again, link new, and then navigate to where the file is to reestablish the link to that particular associated corporation. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about some of the issues that you may come across when it comes to linking. And then I'll talk about what if you change something within the file, what happens to that file, and does Profile know that you've made a change to that file. So let's go through some of the errors that you may come across first, and then I'll talk about changing something within the related corporation, say for example a field, a number, and what happens with Profile. Okay, communications within corporate linking. The following message may display when using the corporate linking function. You have selected the currently open file. Please choose another file to link. The cause of this is not possible to add a T2 to itself. So say, for example, I have my corporation here, which is the corporation sample, and I tell Profile that I'd like to associate that corporation, which is here, and I want to incorporate it or relate the corporation to itself. So basically, I'm relating the parent corporation as an associate corporation, and you'll get that message if you do that. Okay. Pay, again, if you're not getting anything with this plus sign and you have a parent corporation, so the question is when I click on plus sign, nothing's happening. Definitely make sure that your version is up to date, okay, and that you have your license activated. If not, please give us a call at support and we'll be happy to troubleshoot that for you. Okay, I will give you the number to support when we're towards the end of this webinar. That way you'll have it available to you, and then if you need it, then you can give us a call or give us a chat. Okay. So next error that you may get is selected file has already been linked to the current return. Please use review to unlink the file. So it's not possible to link the same related associate corporation more than once. So it's basically what you're doing is you've associated corporation 2 already, and you want to associate corporation 2 again. You've already linked it. You can't relink it again. Next message is the following message may display. You're linking a corporation for the first time. You'd like to replace an existing corporation. Please use the review function. So basically this is when the user is linking to the related associate corporation for the first time. So what you're doing is if you haven't linked a corporation yet, and you start to click on this option here, review link corporation, you will get that error. So start out with linking your corporation first using the plus sign, and then once you've linked your corporation, you can use the review link corporation icon. Another error message that you may get is the selected file was prepared with a version of Profile that is not supported by corporate linking. So it's not supported by corporate linking. So you may have a file, you may be working with a file like a 2015 file, and you're trying to associate that corporation to your return, your T2 return. It may not be supported. So if you ever get this message, just check which corporation or which module you're associating the corporation to, or what module that related corporation is in, and make sure that it's a 2016, 2017 module. Okay. I've placed some related articles, so what I'd like to do after I do the webinars, within 24 hours I send out an email just thanking you for your participation and when you've signed in and you participated. I like to send out an email with a copy of this PowerPoint, and I put in the links for you so that you'll have that available. The page itself, these links will bring you to the articles that talk about the related corporation. It's the steps that I've just talked about, corporate linking, and some of the frequently asked questions that you may come across when it comes to this feature. Okay, so I've put that in the presentation. Other related links I put in specifically just for linking and for syncing. For the syncing, let me talk about syncing before we go on to the next slide, which is the support page. And that is, I mentioned if you make a change, say for example on Corporation 3, which was this one here, Corporation 2, let me just make a change to the return. In the meantime, I'll keep this page up for those who want to call in. You can jot down the phone number or contact us via chat or email. While I'm making the change to the corporation, let me do that quickly. I'm just going to open up the return for Corporation 2, and I'm going to make a change to, say for example, a change to their taxable capital employed in Canada. So I'm going to put a little bit more than I had. I'm going to save that return. Okay, so I made a change. Let's add in here something else. And now I'm going to bring up the associate corporation, the parent company. And now if I go to review, you will get a caution sign for Corporation 3. What I did was I just added a number to the information page, and to find out what changes have been made, all you got to do is just scroll down, and then you'll notice a highlight here that originally there was an amount for 10,000, or sorry, 10 million, and now the updated info is 100 million. Okay. And in order for me to update that info, all I have to do is just click onto the corporation that needs to be updated, and then I press update, I press yes, and now if I go back to the review, it should sync up. So now that amount is now up to date. Okay, so that's syncing your information. All right. The information that will be synced is what you see here. Okay. In case you make a change in the related corporation and it's not one of these, it will not show and you won't be able to update that. Okay. So that is syncing the file in case you make a change to one of the fields within that related corporation. Okay. All right. So this is our support number. If you haven't written it down, let me take a look at some of the questions here before I proceed and see if there's anything I can answer for anyone. Where is my questions? Okay. So I had, yeah, looks like I've answered most of the questions. Yeah, it looks like we'd have to troubleshoot most of those who aren't getting any window showing up on the toolbar when they press the plus sign. Please just make sure that you are pressing this plus sign. If it's grayed out, let me just close this here and just do a test. Okay, so you don't have the option until you open up a T2. So I open up the T2, and now the options are available. So you have to make sure that you have a T2 open in order to have those icons to show. All right, just in case you haven't done that. So the updates are not automatic. If you change to one company, sync forward. Yes. So Kelsey was asking if I had 9 corporations inputted in, and I add a 10, you would have to sync that 10th related corporation, Kelsey, manually. It doesn't do it automatically. Okay. Once you sync it, though, once you do the linking, the information, of course, will, if it's broken, profile will tell you that it's broken. If there's any changes within the software or changes within the field, it will tell you and highlight it in red within the review. Okay. To an existing link company, yes, it doesn't do it automatically. You would have to do the update. Okay. So just as Kelsey was asking, if I make a change to one of the related corporation in one of those fields, what does it not update automatically? No, it doesn't. It will show you under the review. Let me just reopen that associate corporation. Okay. So when I go into review, notice that there's a red. So this is information that needs to be updated. So I press update, select yes to confirm, and now when I go back to Corporation 3, that information is up to date. So you would have to do that manually, Kelsey. So that's a great question. Okay. Yeah, it would be nice to have it automatic, but sometimes some tax preparers would like to see that change before they confirm to update that info. So it's kind of a 50-50 thing. Okay. All right. Good. So if you haven't taken this down already, please do. There is a few ways of reaching out to us if you need any help. Then I want to talk about, before I go, if I can use you for a moment, there's a few people in this webinar that's attending. We're in the works of creating a user guide for our customers. It can be from a first-time user to a user that's been using Profile for many years. And we wanted to offer a user guide to yourselves and to your staff. And so we're in the works of creating that guide. So let me just bring up a sample of that guide. It's still in the works, so let me just see if I can find that for you. So this is the user guide in PDF. Okay. And the user guide will basically look, so this is still in the works, so this is a rough draft. So this is our profile user guide. You'll get a table of contents, and within that table of contents, you'll be able to click on the highlighted topic, and it will go straight to that topic. So we're looking for some input, whether it's something that you think would be beneficial to yourselves or your staff. We're also looking for topics that you think would be great to include in this guide that will help you throughout the season. And based on that information, we'll be able to move forward or say that maybe this is a guide that we may just cater to first-time users. So we'd love your input. We'd love your feedback on this. So far, this is a working copy. So basically, it goes from checking the version, updating your version. So these are some of the topics that we're mentioning here. Pay San says, yes, yes, yes. Very clean guide. I love the layout. I love where this is heading. So I just wanted to share this with you to see if that's something that you would like to have. Aside from all the resources like these webinars, these how-to videos that we have, the articles that we have on the web page, we'd like to also, maybe for those who love to see a guide, you can print them out if you want or keep them as a digital copy. This is what it basically looks like. Okay, it gives you a step-by-step, so it's very clean, and it's tax planner. Of course, I had a customer that was asking about this today. Basically, all you have to do is just use the 2017 rates on the info page. Ahmad says yes, so far I've got 2 out of the 80. 3 out of 80. Sandra says I'd love to have that. So thank you for that input. And we talk about Giphy input. So it's a lot of content we'll be putting in here, but it will be based on your feedback. And please, when you receive the survey, fill that out. Let us know if this is something that you'd like, and also what kind of content you'd like to see. Would you like it to be more basic, step-by-step? Would you like to see more advanced? Or would you like to see different kinds of guides where you have the quick user guide and the more advanced user guide? So that's great. Okay, so far I'm getting a great feedback from everybody. Everyone's saying yes, it would be a great resource, looks good. Be helpful if we had a more advanced guide too for those who've been using it. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for that. There was a question from Kelsey before I lose that. Let me just see here if I can find it. Kelsey, I did see your question, so don't want to miss it. So Kelsey says, sorry, if I could ask another question, what about allocating the small business deduction? Let's say I allocate 100% to one company, then sync the other 3 companies that are linked to. Will it automatically assign 0? That's a manual input. Okay, so you'll have to allocate the percentages to the related corporations. Okay, Kelsey? So that's something that won't be done automatically. Down the road, that would be a great feature when you start to add, say, for example, you add 10 corporations and you want to distribute them evenly, and Profile would know 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. But right now you'd have to do it manually because sometimes there might be an associate corporation that may be more or less the amount from the other corporation. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, so 306, it looks like we have some great feedback for our guide. Please, again, when you get that survey, just fill it out. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know how we're doing with the guide. Let us know how we're doing with the webinars. Please, if you have any topics that you can suggest for these webinars, I just want to show you that quickly before I head out. And that is, when you look at this calendar, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there is have a suggestion for a webinar, email us. We get the email. Someone will let myself know that someone suggested a topic, and I will be able to get that. If not, just send us an email through the support email, and they will relay that information to me. If you're looking for, aside from July, if you're looking for the August webinars, we've already posted them. Take a look. If there's any topics that you'd like to register for, please start registering for them. There is a limited seating for these, so please sign up. That way you are reserved for your webinar. Okay, great. It was my pleasure for everyone today. I'm glad that there was a lot of participation, a lot of questions, great questions for this new feature. Hopefully I covered everything that you may come across, and I just want to thank you on behalf of Intuit Profile. Have a great day, and thank you very much.